It is 12:45 on Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to get you really far away from me. I like when the thumbnails don't have me like this. They have me like this. So I think I'm going to try and be a little bit further away from you. I also figured out why the ending was so awkward the past two times. It wasn't just that I was pinching it between my fingers. It's that my phone thinks my finger's on the screen up there. So if I'm pressing the button over there, it's like, why is your finger in so many places? I don't know what you want me to do. So I need to be more careful about the way I'm... Okay, so anyway, thanks for all your comments. I know I haven't given people that much time. It's only been posted for, it looks like, about 17 hours. Thank you for all the comments so far. Damn, why didn't I comment? I would love Sean to try and pronunciate my name. Well, I'll try and pronunciate your goofy spelling. Anders? It says he's from Denmark, so I'm going to say, like, Anders. Maybe the S is silent? I don't know. Look, pie in the sky. I don't know what that means. Pete? I haven't been able to watch YouTube at all lately because of school, but anyway, I feel like the only person who isn't affected by the storm. It's been beautiful and sunny here in Colorado. Well, you get plenty of weather over there, too. You get, you know, like snow and stuff. We don't... Last winter, we didn't have snow, like, period. We had a light dusting in October, which I think I mentioned yesterday, and then, like, flurries a couple times. We had zero snow. None at all. That sucked. Someone was asking me if I liked or hated snow. I guess I will modify my answer and say, when it's wintertime, and I live where I do, if it doesn't snow, that makes me sad. I want it to snow at least once, twice, 3 times would be nice. Ben said Sandy did nothing here. I was relieved and disappointed at the same time. Pretty much that was the way I felt too. Like, I was like glad that nothing bad happened. The roads were fine, but I was also like, it would have been kind of fun to have a day off work, you know? Like, anyway. Bodman wants to know if I've seen the news about Disney buying the rights to Star Wars. What? Yes, I've heard. I don't want to talk about it. Yellow Llama says, since you were spared by the storm, what is the worst storm you've experienced? I think I mentioned that yesterday. 2010, winter time, blizzard. No, it wasn't a blizzard. Snowstorm. Had to get to New York City that day. That was the worst storm. That was what happened. Ron wants to know what I'm handing out to trick-or-treaters. I'm going to hide in my house and pretend that no one's here. The thing about my neighborhood is people don't come to doors because these are like apartment buildings, so people, like, there's a lobby and then there are multiple tenants who live in the buildings. So basically people just walk by, and if the tenants are out on the porch, they will trick-or-treat them. Otherwise, they're not going to come in. They're not going to, like, come inside. This door behind me is our front door. It just goes to a hallway that goes to the lobby. No one's going to come to this door, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I think I'm actually going to be recording a podcast with Chris during part of the time that trick-or-treat is taking place. So I have no candy here. Hopefully no one decides to egg me. Archer says that speaking of Chris, he says most of it missed him too, and he had to dodge some tumbleweeds on the way to work this morning. I'm not sure if he actually means tumbleweeds or not, but that reminded me, when we were on our way west to Lake Gracetown, where we went last weekend, we saw a huge tumbleweed that was the size of, like, one of those giant beach balls. Like, it was probably 3 or 4 feet across. It was just sitting on the side of the road. I was like, why is this in Pennsylvania? That was weird. Unit confirmed that he did get hit and he did lose his internet connection for a day. Although I'm assuming if you had a cell phone, you probably still had some connectivity. Payek wants to know what I'm going to wear for Halloween. I am wearing this. This is what I'm wearing. Not in a celebratory mood. You will see on 5 Things. There's a whole thing. Sam says that they had some crazy devastation in Australia last year, which I don't really know anything about. I'm sorry. I don't know if you were involved in any way. And Bark at What said that he did the same thing with his entertainment system that I mentioned that Gus Sorolla of Rooster Teeth did. He hooked it up to a backup, and he was able to actually watch TV for 24 hours without power, which is pretty cool. I like that. So, I made 5 things. I just shot it. Here's all my stuff. Lights and blah, blah, blah. I actually have a light on right now so that you can, like, see colors this time. Normally I don't have them set up. They sit packed away behind me because there's just not that much room in this apartment. So 5 things is shot. I'm going to start editing it right now. Alicia's on her way home. We had to take the cats to the vet this morning to get their, like, yearly shots or whatever. Something very interesting happened. I've described what Aang is like. He kind of acts like a dog. He meets me at the door. He's very friendly. Whenever people come over, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is the friendliest cat I've ever met." We took him to the vet, and first of all, the cats cry the entire way there. They do not like being in the car. They just meow back and forth at each other. And as soon as we took him into the vet, and Aang smelled the smell of something that smells smelly, of other animals, he just started freaking out. And he was still acting the same way. Like I sat him in my lap, and he was like, I was able to pet him, and he was rubbing his head against me, and he was really friendly, but the whole time he was hissing and growling. So he's like looking at me with his normal, like, friendly, stupid face, and he's like, and it was really weird. So the vet actually had to get a guy to come in and hold him down with gloves on so that Aang would not bite him when he gave him the shots. Anyway, we got them home and they were like, "Oh, it was all a bad dream." And they just went back to being cats. Appa's been hiding, but that's not unusual behavior for Appa. So, final thing before I go. It looks like I'm about 3 hours away from finishing my upload of my 1.4.2 impressions. Also, I have a question. How did it go from 132 to 142? Where's 1.4? Because I looked at the version history on the wiki, and I think I might have made an error when I was talking about it on the video, because I assumed that 1.4 came out, and then they had to make a revision, and then another revision, so that it's 1.42, but it actually just looks like it went from 1.32 to 1.42. Why did it do that? Anyway, it is a 70-minute video. It contains a lot of me coughing and sniffing. I apologize in advance, because that's kind of awkward. But it is 70 minutes practically uncut of me just wandering through the game, and then eventually I switched to... I start in survival, and then I realized that was stupid, and I just switched to creative and start, like, poking around at the real meat of the update. I didn't try and go and find a village or anything, like I didn't encounter a witch. That kind of stuff I hope that I can save for Survive or Die, my initial encounters with those things. The one thing that I did do, that I know you want to know, is I did spawn a wither. So, look forward to that. Anyway, that's about it. I'm going to go edit until whenever I'm doing something else. We're going to record the 5 Things podcast sometime today. We're going to talk about all of the Paranormal Activity movies, including the new one, which we saw a week or so ago. And if you listened to the 5 Things podcast last week, we said that we were going to go see Sleepwalk with me, and we still haven't done that. We just haven't had time. And I'm disappointed because all I did for like 2 months before it came out was get really excited about it. If it was in theaters around here when it came out, I would have seen it immediately. But it came out like right after I got my new job, and I just haven't had any time at all. Okay, I gotta end this before 9 minutes. These are just way too long lately.